Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we got a fun one for you today. It's another no coding one, really easy to do. I've got some social media icons there. When I hover over them, they're going to grow, pop out front and center. And when you take the mouse back off, of course they're going to pop back into place again. Really nice little feature to get people on your social media sites. I'm also using it as a floating social media icon down there, and I'll show you how to do that later on. Again, no coding involved, so let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder. Once enabled, I'm going to go down, I'm going to delete my floating social icons down here. I'm going to delete that whole row, and we'll roll down. I've got another row here, green tab for a row. Got a single column in it. I'm going to delete social media follow module there. And let's add a new one. Hit the little dark button, roll on down. There's our social media follow. I'm going to left click on that. By default, it puts in a Facebook and the old Twitter. I'm going to get rid of that one. Hopefully they'll update that soon. While we're in the main social media follow settings, there's our Facebook right there. I'm going to go into the icon down below. I'm going to make sure the link's in a new tab so that your site stays open when they click on it. If you want to, you can set a background color for all of your icons in here. I'm going to leave mine on the default for the moment, or you can do that individually in each one. I'm going to pop over to design, alignment. I'm going to pop mine into the middle. Great. Everything else I'm going to do in the actual button itself. So let's go back to the content. There's the Facebook button. I'm going to go in there. Obviously, put the link to your Facebook account there, or whatever page on your Facebook site you want to take your visitors. Like I say, you can custom background inside here. By default, it gives the default color for that site. I'm going to leave mine on that. Design wise, I'm going to go in there to my icon. I'm going to make mine a bit bigger. So I've gone over to design, down to icon. I'm going to switch the little switch for icon custom size. I'm going to make mine say 50 pixels. You can type in a value or you can use the slider. Great. I want mine to be round though. At the moment it's square, so we can easily turn that into a round button by going to the border and put in say 50 pixels, a high pixel value. That makes it nice and round there. Fantastic. Now to make this interactive and more interesting, we had a hover effect, whereas it grew in size and we changed the z-index so it was on top of anything that was behind it there. So we can do that really easily inside this module also. But I also had a little bit of box shadow on there and it got more pronounced when they hover over it. So let's do that. Let's roll down a little bit. There's box shadow down here. I'm going to use this one on mine, which is fairly subtle down at the bottom there, but when they roll over it, I want it to become a lot darker. Because I'm going to make this button grow probably half as big again. So let's roll down here. Unfortunately, there's no hover on the actual box shadow, no little arrow there. And this is common to all Divi modules. If you go to shadow color, or any of the dark writing and hover over, go to the thing you want to affect, get the icons up. If there's an arrow there, we can do something different on hover. Desktops when the mouse is not on it. Obviously hover is when the mouse is on it. So if we click on that little arrow, we can put a completely different color in there. I'm going to make mine black, or pretty much black. I mean, that's pretty dark. I want it quite as dark as that, so I'm going to click on the color. The little field that pops up, this variegated slider, I'm going to take it down to maybe 90%, maybe a little less. Something like that. It's still really dark. It's not quite black. And when they're not hovering over it, it's going to have that much more subtle one. But of course I want to make that grow. To do that, I'm just going to scoot down just a little bit to transform down below. And the first little tab there, we've got transform scale. And again, I only want it to grow when we hover on it. So I'm going to hover over the dark writing, get the little arrow. I want mine to grow by about half as much again, so it'll be 150%. Now you can type the value in there, or you can make sure that little change checked, it'll do both at the same time, and you can slide these up, or you could grab the little box and do it that way. 150 I want there. And like I say, you can fine tune with these little arrows to the side there. So when they're hovering over it, it's going to be that big. When we're not, it's going to be that big. So that's not working. I want it to be 100% or regular size, 50 pixels, when we're not hovering, right there. Where we are, I want it to be 150. There we go. That should work now. Great. Not sure why that didn't work first time around. So we've got that and that. Now the time it takes to go from regular desktop state to hover state with Divi is 300 milliseconds, which is pretty quick. It works. I'm going to slow this down just slightly. If you want to change the timing, go over to your advanced. We can roll down to transitions. There's the default 300 mils. That'll make it maybe half a second, 500 milliseconds. And again, you can slide up, you can type in a value, and you can fine tune with the little arrows there. Don't want any delay, want it to happen as soon as they put their arrow on it. Transition speed curve, I tend to use for my hover effects. It's easy and out. They're all slightly different. Some will work a lot better in certain situations than others. That's my little go-to for my hover effects. Great. Now, while we're over here in the advanced, there's one thing else we need to do, and that's position Z index. Because I'm going to have 2 or 3 of these. I think at the moment we're on hover state. Just make sure we're back to regular state by going anywhere and putting it on regular. There we go. Now my Z index, at the moment it's 0, but you know when they hover over it, it's going to grow. And we're going to have other social media icons behind it. We want to make sure that the one that we're hovering on is on top at all times. And that's where Z index comes into it. So again, we want to hover up over, get our little arrow up, make sure you do it on this one and not any other one, Z index. Desktop state, default 0. When they hover over it, I'm going to ramp it up by quite a bit. I'm going to say 50. Now, if we copy this now, all of our modules will be like that. So when they hover over it, the 50 will make it be in front, or should, in theory, make it be in front of the other one. So let's try this out now. I'm pretty happy with what we've got going on there. So if we save this, we're back to our main social media follow settings. We'll go into my content here. There's the one we just created and came back from. I'm going to duplicate it. And we'll go in. Obviously, you're going to want to change your network. Change your link down below. When you're happy, save it. It'll take you back to the main one again. Now let's do one more. Let's just perhaps do LinkedIn. In there. Change it. There's LinkedIn. And obviously you want to change your link. I'm going to leave mine just like that. 3 will do me for the time being. Obviously put in as many or few as you want. Let's save our changes now. Make sure this is going to work on the front end. We'll go down to the little purple button. Save draft or publish if you're ready. And let's exit the visual builder. Let's roll on down. There's our little icons when we roll over. Facebook. As you can see by the right corner there, it's on top of our red icon there because we did the Z index. If we roll over the next one, it's on top of both of the others. And of course, the last one, it's on top of our middle one there. And that's a really nice little feature to have on your site. That's going to get people's eyeballs really quickly if they're mousing around and that sort of thing happens. And of course, it will work on tablet and mobile, but they'll have to tap on it. Now, if you wanted to make these into fixed position floating like I had earlier, really easy to do. Let's quickly enable the visual builder. And we'll go down. And I think I'll have these a lot smaller again. So let's go into the main thing. We can have them grow a bit, but initially I want them a lot smaller. So we'll go into the module. Let's go into our Facebook one. Design, icon. 50, let's change that to 20, probably be too small. Actually, I think that's going to work for me. Obviously, change yours to how you want. Let's compromise, let's make it 25. Great. Let's just copy that. I'm going to do the same to the other two. Just save that, it'll take you back to the main settings. Unfortunately, we can't extend styles on this because that will change their backgrounds and things like that as well. So I'm just going to go in there. Very easy to do. Design, icon, size, 25. Save, and last but not least, design, icon, 25. Great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my row itself that this is all sitting in. So I've saved all my changes there. Green tab for the row. I'm going to make the row, I'm going to basically wrap this row around them. So I'm going to go into the row itself. I want to take away most of the padding, so I'm going to go design and spacing. Let's say, actually I'm going to leave that just like it is, that's fine. But size-wise, I want it a lot smaller. So I'm going to close up spacing. Just above that, we'll find sizing. Here's the width. If we take it down in size, it's going to wrap itself around our little icons. Now you see they're wrapping there. It means it's got too small for it. So just take it up so that they all fit in there, which is 10%. I think I'd rather have a pixel value. So let's try 150 pix. 150 px. Not going to be enough. Try 170. Yeah, that'll work. Now our row itself, I just save this, you'll see, is wrapped around our little icons there. So we can now go into that row, make it fixed position, put it anywhere we want. So back into the row to make it fixed position. Over to advanced, to position. I'm going to change it from relative to fixed. And you might think it's disappeared, but it's not. It's actually up under our logo here. We've got a little grid or a matrix here. It's up under there. If I put it in the middle, see it's over there. Bottom there, etc. I want to put mine right in the middle at the bottom. It's disappeared, so it's obviously gone down too far. And it looks like it's going behind my elements there. So actually position-wise, it's probably okay, but I can't see it because it's behind all my other elements there. So still in the row, we know how to fix that, don't we? It's with the Z index. If we roll down a little bit further, just roll it up until it pops on top of everything. Make sure it's going to stay on top of all your elements there. Great. I think I want to take it down just a little bit, maybe where that purple button is. So we've got a vertical offset here. So I'm going to roll it down a little bit. So it's right about there. I'm happy with that. Great. So if we save that now, hit the little purple button. Save draft or publish if you're ready. Exit the Visual Builder. We've got a little floating social media icon there, and they'll still grow when we hover over them. Like I say, that's a nice little feature to have on your site. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.